Hey everyone, in front of us we have our late war K98k that was sporterized sometime probably in the 60s that I have gone on to put a micro red dot sight on and a budget bipod, which is missing at the moment because, well, it's a budget bipod and it didn't hold up well to the 8mm Mauser. Now I've got some things going on to strengthen that and remount it on here, and that will be coming up. But in my quest to kind of, I don't want to say modernize because that's not a really good term here, as I don't necessarily consider this modernizing it. But in the vein of making it more 2024, I thought it needed a flash hider. Everything has flash hiders nowadays, so it needs a flash hider. So in that pursuit, I went looking for a flash hider that had an inside diameter of, let's measure the end of the barrel here, about 0.069. So I went looking online to see what I could find. And at Numrich Gun Parts, I found this German-made flash hider with a diameter of almost 0.609, nearly. I think that's what I measured that to, hopefully. And it measures 0.582. So I was thinking I could take this flash hider, bore this out to 5/8 of an inch, give myself a little wiggle room, and this does taper, and then put some set screws in here and mount it on the end of our barrel. So in the pursuit of doing that, I got myself an Irwin 5/8 inch bit. That there are actually a couple different bits or types of bit that I could try to use for this, but to fit into my drill press, I think this is what's going to work the best. Hopefully it doesn't not work at all, but we'll find that out soon. Well, you'll find it out sooner than I do because I have to go set up the camera by the drill press and do all that stuff before I get to find anything out. So let's go ahead and go out to the garage and see if we can either make this work or really screw it up. Okay, now that we're back to the table and we've removed our flash hider from the perfect tool for the job, adjustable wrench and its bolt, which, look at that, looks pretty cool. Got good coverage over the flash hider. I'm really happy with the way the black turned out. The inside, didn't get too much on the inside, which I didn't really want to get a whole lot on the inside, but looks good overall. Actually looks a lot better with the end of the barrel than I thought. So let's go ahead and get it attached so we can really see how it looks. And to do that and to align it, I've made myself another perfect tool for the job using a spade bit with a 7.5 by 54 French casing that I've cut the case head off of, slid up the spade bit so that it shoulders on the angular part of the bit. Now the shank of this was 0.29 and I believe our barrel diameter is 0.301, something like that, right around there. So it fits just about perfectly, although snugly, in there. And go ahead and pull that out. The case head, or the case head, fits pretty well into the cone shaped part of the flash hider. So this will do a relatively good job of centering it with our bore, because we definitely don't want to be shooting our flash hider off. I've done that in the past and it's never fun. No, not with this gun, different gun. So let's go ahead and line it up with the center and the original front sight. There's a small, let's roll over this way a little. There's a original spot that the front sight was in. Let's go ahead and do that. Slide our centering tool in. Now, I believe we're off center, so I may need to pull flash hider out a bit. And there we go. That looks better. Yeah, no, that looks pretty good. Now I also made some shims. I don't know, they might be too thick, out of some cardboard, just to see. That's too thick. Anyway, Now I gotta kind of look this over. I think, may need to bring this one out. Actually bring this one out. There we go. Yep, that's a lot better. That is a lot better. So turn that and then just push. One of the nice things about using the spade bit is you can't push on it like that with your bare hand too hard, because you don't really want to just jam it on there. So you're kind of limited in the amount of pressure you can use, unless you're a real severe masochist. Which, hey, teach their own, but... Okay, now that looks really good and straight. Now that I've adjusted the set screws a bit, now I'm going to tighten the top one. Well, actually, I'm going to loosen the top one up. I'm going to tighten these sides a little, just to watch, just till they get tight. I'm actually going to finger tighten them. Now, eventually, I will take these back out, and I'll put some blue Loctite on them. Now, you'll notice that the set screws themselves hang out just a tad, and that would be because I could not sand them down quite small enough without chucking them inside my belt sander to make them flush. So I will probably end up buying some flush set screws at some point, so that way they don't hang out like this. You know, make it a bit cleaner of a look. Let me see how that looks. Try to not get my head in the frame too much. Now that's actually looking really nice and straight. Let's look at it from the bottom. Oh yeah, no, that's looking good. And from this side, yep, no, that all looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these down a little more. I'm gonna just kind of do it in sequence till they're tight, they're snug. Like I said, I am gonna end up pulling these back out of here, so this is kind of more about just how you would go about aligning this and tightening it. Like I said, personally, these will come back off, and I'll probably put some flush fitting ones in, and they will be Loctited in place. Because like I said, you don't want to shoot your flash hider off. Let's go ahead and pull our alignment tool out. That actually looks really nice and aligned. I'm really happy with that. Really happy with that, actually. Looks nice. Let's zoom out just a tad. The table's a bit of a mess. So, but there we had the flash hider. And the rest of the rifle, it kind of goes with it. You may notice bipod is still missing. Gonna have to do a repair on that cheap bipod before we can attach it. And I think I'm going to add another screw because that singular sling mount there didn't seem to really want to hold up either. So there you have it. I think it looks pretty good all in all. You know, it's kind of too bad the barrel is too long to get much else in the shot with the flash hider like that. It's like, ooh, look at that, looks cool. But all you can really see is that. Can't wait to shoot it, see what kind of distribution it gives us. See if I can get any bit of a wider shot on it. At least a little bit wider. That's the problem when you have a bunch of stuff right off the edge of the camera. You don't really want to see a whole big bunch of that stuff. Yeah, I think if I scoot it back just a little bit, there we go. Not quite. Yeah, that's better. That's better, that's better. So at least it kind of gives you the idea what it looks like overall. That is a monstrously long barrel for that stock. And that's something else I've considered with this, is maybe doing a wholly different sort of stock for it. I think that might be more fitting. But before we get that far, just getting the bipod back on it, getting it out and shooting it, that would be a victory in and of itself. So if you liked the video, I'd appreciate you coming back and checking out more of my videos. Thanks, and have a great day.